guys, my name is Killer Cloud, and in this video I'm going to be doing a little bit different, something a little bit different than my previous videos. A lot of questions are kind of adding up and they're all relating to the same topic. It's about how to get denser, thicker O's, more milky O's for tricks. This is not for cloud chasing, this is for the trickster section. So there are a multiple of ways to get denser O's for tricks. First one that always comes to mind is what's your VG-PG ratio of your juices. That's a huge part of it. Whenever I'm doing O's, tricks in general, juices, cloud chasing, I always have this range of either a 70% VG, 30% PG ratio, and anything higher with a VG. So 70-30, an 80-20, or a 90-10 when I'm doing tricks. It just makes a world of easier to do tricks when you have a more VG based juice, mainly because you have one, a less of a throat hit, two, you have those milky cloud production vapor clouds, and three, it's better to not have nicotine when you're doing this, because when you're practicing tricks, you wouldn't want a nicotine buzz when you're doing this, because you're going to be vaping a lot, practicing it. I wouldn't want you guys to get I wouldn't want you to get passed out when you're doing these tricks. So that's my first thing, juice. Okay. Second one is coil builds. Okay. So different coil builds relate to different parts that you want to cover. You have the trickster builds, you have the cloud chasing builds, then you just have the straight flavor builds for getting off cigarettes, tasting that high notes and the low notes of your juice. So cloud chasers tend to do super sub-ohm builds. You know, most cloud chasers tend to have super sub-ohm build or sub-ohm build coils for their clouds because they want that quick ramp up time. Tricksters, now what I've noticed, if you guys want milky O's, both of them kind of share the same thing. I kind of run the same coil build for my cloud chasing and my trickster builds, but basically what you would want to do is have a few more wraps than normal. So let's say for my cloud chasing setup, I do like a 6 wrap 22 gauge wrapped around a 3/30 second drill bit, ohming off to maybe like 0.14, 0.16 ohms around there. Now what I would do is for thicker O's, more dense vapor production, I would just add 2 more wraps or maybe 3 more wraps. So like let's say this build right here, it's really good for dense vapor. It's 20 gauge G-plat wrapped around a 9/64. I have currently an 8 wrap dual. Okay, so I'll try to give you guys a zoom up on what I'm talking about here. So 8 wrap, 9/64 drill bit, G-plat wire. Really basic build, guys. It happened to be on my Kennedy V1 competition RDA, but it's a really basic build. And for that, you want thick gauge, more like the thicker gauge of wire. So 20, 22, and 24. 20, 22, and 26 gauge would be recommended for this. And then you just do maybe like a 7, 8 wrap or maybe a 9 wrap, instead of the 5-6 wrap that you would do for cloud chasing. It all depends on preference. Some people do dual parallels, which is that's awesome. You want more coil coverage on the cotton to have a denser vape. Okay, basically that's pretty simple to understand. The more coverage you have, the more vapor that's being used off of that cotton. If you have less wraps on the cotton, then the juice isn't being used in the most efficient way. You want to have more coverage, more vapor production on your cotton. Very simple to do. So the third way is to always lung hit and then exhale a little bit of vapor, and then basically what that does is you still have vapor in your lungs, but you also have your full mouth is being filled with that thick milky vapor very thick and very heavy. So I'm gonna give you guys an example real quick on how to inhale, how to exhale. I have a few of my O tutorials, all involve kind of, exhaling a little bit before you're doing your tricks, mainly for cloud chasing setups or really high density builds. So you want to exhale the vapor and then really get that stuff really thick. Now, once you have a really high density build, more wraps on that cotton, you will have a little slower of a ramp up time. So that's what I always do. I do a pre-fire. So pre-fire is basically you blow on your coils while you have your button, push down, your on button, your switch push down. Where do you have a tube mod, a box mod? You want to pre-fire a little bit, mainly because the ramp up time will be slower, like I said before. So almost any trick I'm going to do is going to be really thick. That's for my build. That's for my exhale technique. So I'm inhaling, letting the vapor, exhale slowly to fill up my mouth, and then start doing the tricks. If you go right off the bat, you get either two things. If you don't let your mouth get filled up with vapor, you either have really thin tricks and then they become super thick, or you get really, really dense O's and you can't perform the trick because they're just too heavy. So always let loose a little bit of vapor before doing tricks. It performs a lot better for tricks. It just ends up being better. It's just a whole better experience if you let go of some vapor. Now, for the guys using vape pens, e-cigarette, disposable e-cigarettes, and they're trying to do tricks like with cigarettes, kind of mimicking what you would do with a cigarette, then I recommend doing like a swish with your mouth, like a Listerine swish. I always talk about this. Let's say like here's my flavor tank. So it's not going to produce a lot of vapor like this is, but what I'm going to do for density is this. So I can still get pretty thick O's, not as thick as this one, but this one will, if I do the mouth swish, kind of a Listerine swish, then I can get pretty thick O's also. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was, helpful at least. So I'll just recap real quick before I end the video. So it's all about your juice, your VG-PG ratio. You want a high VG blend, preferably, than a PG. PG's for throat hit, for flavor. VG's for your vapor production, how dense it is, etc. The second one is your coil build. I'd recommend doing at least 2 to 3 wraps more than normal. If you're running a dual parallel build, then you don't have to listen to that second tip. It's dual parallels are perfect for vapor production for cloud density, so you really don't need to have extra wraps. If you're doing a single wrapped coils in a dual coil setup, then I recommend doing maybe 2 to 3 more wraps. And the third one is to do the inhale lung hit and then slowly exhale, kind of fill that vapor in your mouth, and then do the trick. So that's basically the 3 things I'd give for densifying your O's, making tricks just a lot milkier and denser. So hope you guys enjoy the review. I'll see you guys next time, and vape safe, guys. Peace out.